They have a saying in Jamaica, see me and live with me are two different things. And you can really get to know the person good. His whole nice guy image of the narcissistic ex. I'm not even gonna say my narcissistic ex because I ain't taking no ownership for that. His whole nice guy image can be refuted if people took the time to get to know him. So, whole background story, right? His father was a cheater, and the two children that his mother raised, the two boys, turned out to be cheaters, right? Now that they're grown. And there was an incident before his father and his mother got divorced, right? So the whole incident started one day when they were home, and it's the side chick of his father came over to the house unexpected and uninvited, as most narcissists themselves love to do. And the narcissist father got angry and told her to leave, and he went out there, and the whole scene turned into something disgraceful. This married man who is cheating is outside fighting with his side chick, right? And all the neighbors are witnessing this thing, right? So it's not like this is some pulled out of a hat story. This is how far the whole cheating thing, and this is how much skeletons these family have in their closets, right? So when they come around with the whole nice guy, oh, I'm perfect image, the whole family psychologically messed up, emotionally messed up. They have a whole lot of trauma that they been long time needed to go to therapy for, and they did not go to therapy for these things, right? So after that whole incident, the narcissist's mother and the narcissist's father divorced, right? So the narcissist's mother grew these two boys that were left in her care, right? And these two boys, grown men, grown boys, because I can't call them men, it's a disgrace to the word men. Just like what they saw, they turned into cheaters too, because that's all they did. And they went around acting as if they were exceptional and they're caring and they're that father type. All smoke and mirrors, right? They are so fake. It is unbelievable how fake they are. You wonder how they get the type of woman that they get, right? People are surprised. How do you get these types of girls? How you get these type? They lie to them. That's how they do it. They lie and deceive the girls. Because if they were truthful, a lot of those girls, very intelligent, very headstrong, very pretty women, right? Beautiful. They had places going, and these two grown boys lied and deceived and used these women and discarded them. It was just another lifestyle for them. And they did it in a way where it would just look like, oh, they're just looking for love and it's just not working out, but really the intent behind it is really to just use the woman and not take accountability for their actions. For example, the the ex narcissist of mine's older brother, when I first got to know this whole dysfunctional family, his older brother was living with his girlfriend, but at the time she produce a child for him in the relationship. So I guess it was the mother of his child at that time, right? And I think I came on the scene when she was pregnant with the second child for him. So eventually, while she is pregnant, she figured out, or was it after she gave birth? At some point in time, she realized that he was cheating. I guess at this point, she didn't realize that he was a serial cheater, but she realized that he was cheating. So eventually, she didn't move out right away, but she severed the relationship. Right, it was going south. So I guess they were not really in a relationship anymore. But she still stayed in the house because I guess she wanted the father to be around, or maybe she was sorting stuff out. So she didn't move out right away. You could tell that he had discarded her. I've heard that they were always the type to fight and so on. And it got to the point where he was often physically abusive. It will lead to something physical, right? Because at one point she had to draw a knife at him to defend herself. The family tried to make it seem like, oh, she shouldn't have done that, and suppose she did this, and how dare she. Remember, I'm new into the relationship with the ex narcissist of mine at that time, so I don't know what to think. All I could say was, you know why is he even laying his hand on a woman to begin with? You feel me? And why did it come to the point where she feels so threatened that she had to draw a knife at him? Those were the questions I asked myself. I didn't get the answer to those. Anyways, after a while, it was squashed, but I kept seeing a lot of fights. I kept hearing a lot of fights, and it was always like that until she moved out. And when all right, so how did we know that he was a he was a cheater, but we didn't know that he was a serial cheater at the time? So when she found out, she tried to expose it, and he, at some point, I guess after the night, he basically confessed, right? Because it reached a point where he could not deny it because his actions showed that he didn't have that love interest toward her anymore, right? And she just kept pushing it until he just admitted it. Yes, there was someone else. Da 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 da. After denying, because she was asking him so much questions that he could not provide answers to her for, right? At one point, she even looked at me, and I was minding my own business. She looked at me and she said, let me ask you this. So if a guy does such and such and such, and such, because he was not given a forward answer. So she asked me, and I was like, you know what? It does sound fishy, for real. But he was like, no, no, it's not like that. It's not like, he was insistent it wasn't like that, right? So yeah, she found out definitely he was cheating. It was confirmed, and at some point they couldn't sort things out, so she left because she decided that she was not going to share any man because basically, you know. So she called that a day and she left. So it ended up that not even 2 3 days good, we no time to grieve, no time to say, oh, I lost my family, my two children are gone with the mother of my child. Not even some proper breathing space time, like 2 to 3 days. We see another lady coming, pushing the key to his door, go inside the house. Not even 2 to 3 days good after the mother of his child leaves, right? And that just shows you that, you know, he was cheating all this time, even though he was trying to deny it. So this replacement now, after the mother of his child left, was not treated any better, because it got to the point where she eventually also got discarded, right? And before she left, she kept saying how she's trying to keep this relationship from falling apart, but she gets the feeling that he does not want to try to save anything. And he's yeah, she had the feeling that something was wrong with him up here. She kept saying it, right? And I told her once, I said, if you stay to the point where if you leave, don't come back. Don't you ever come back to him, right? And she agreed. She said, yes, I don't think I'll ever go back, right? So eventually, when she left, I didn't see her come back. Well, in the relationship, anyways. But he eventually became physically abusive with her, because it led to fights. To at one point where they were both fighting. When I got the details as to why they were fighting, it was told to me that he was trying to take her phone to search it because he was accusing her of cheating. How ironic, seeing that he is the cheater in the relationship. And it was proven that he is the cheater because she was accusing him. Like, for example, she said, like, one day he passed her workplace and she thought that he came to look for her. And it turns out that he pretended as if he did not know her. And she came home and she said she felt some type of way. She didn't have the words to describe the behavior, but she was like, I'm your girlfriend, I live with you. How do you come to someone's workplace and then you act as if you don't know them? And then it's like she said she saw him walk off and then he went with someone else, right? So his behavior at the end of the day, when she, I guess, tried to pull away, even though she was still living with him, he tried to pull the card, like the she is cheating card. At the end of the day, knowing that he is the serial cheater. So, anyways, she eventually got fed up and she left because it constantly went into arguing, and as I said, the assaults with the fighting, to the point where one time they both ended up outside and she didn't come back till hours after the fact, right? So it just went on like that. The woman came and then they left, and then they came and then they left. No, other than the mother of his child, none of the other women I ever saw come to that house stayed there for very long. They came and they left, and they came and they left. So one day, before I go on, there was a point where, after that girl left, because as I said, she got fed up, right? She moved out and then another one came, right? And I started noticing that there was a bag in the living room couch. The living room was always accessible, right? Around where we were, different from the side where the big brother was. So he would have a female guest over, right? This is how much of a serial cheater he was. He was in a relationship with one girl after that, and he would have her over, but whenever she left, she would leave her things at his place, right? Because she thought that she was in a relationship with this guy and she was the only one. So whenever she left, he took her things and he put her things in the living room couch. And then when she left, because it's like they alternated every other week, then another girl would come the following week and she would stay there. And whenever that girl left, he would take her things, switch out the other girl's bag that's in the living room couch with her bag, and put her bag in his room where the other girl would be coming over now to stay with him. And this went on for months, and none of the two girls knew that this guy was playing in their faces, right? It went on for months. All he did was just switch out their bags. Whenever the other one was coming, he switched out her bag, put it in the living room, in the family room. And this is what the narcissist, the ex-narcissist of mine told me, right? Because I noticed the bag in the room and I was like, where did this female bag come from? Why do I keep noticing a female bag in the room? That's when he confessed that's what his big brother was up to. And he had the nerve to say, oh, if for whatever reason, if this relationship between me and you don't work out, I think I admire my big brother so much that I would literally not go into any more serious relationship. I would want one girl to come and they just stay and then they go back to their house, and then that's how I want it. No more living thing. No more. I was like, oh, so that's how you feel. Oh, so you want to be a man whore like your older brother. Oh, I see. So the uh that was how that was the influence that the younger narcissist brother got from the older narcissist brother. Anyways, it reached the point where I went on the road one time, and one of the big women in the community stopped me and said, young girl, can I have a word with you? What's up with that house over there that you come from? Why is it that every time I see all the nice, young, hardworking girls, they come over there? By the time I am to get used to seeing them, and they just disappear from the community. What's up with those two guys over there, over the house where you live? So, of course, I live over there, so she's going to ask me. I'm still trying to process what's up with the two loggerhead over there myself, so I don't know what to tell her. So I said to her, Mom, I do not know what is up with them, especially the bigger one. He is operating like a man whore, and he just doesn't. It's like none of them can talk to him, because ever since the mother of his child went out, is like he's just determined to manwhore down the place, and have no shame in it. And then the other one is influenced because he's like, oh, well, if the older one can do that, I must can do it too. Right? And I was like, if I ever see he bring anybody in there, I'm leaving and I'm never looking back. Right? So she said to me, but it's really a shame, because it makes the community look away, and it looks away because, for one, it is clear that these girls are being hurt, and it's clear that there is a problem with these guys, and it is not being resolved because all these girls that come to the house, so much of them, and they keep leaving. All these girls couldn't be the problem. It must be that these grown boys are the problem. So basically, that's what the big woman was trying to say. She was trying to get to the root of it. Like, are these grown boys root of the problem? Because all these girls that I keep seeing coming and leaving couldn't be the problem. All of them couldn't be the problem. So I said to her, I agree. These girls couldn't be the problem, because I knew I wasn't the problem. I knew why I came. I knew that I was looking for a serious relationship. And a lot of these girls, you can really see that they were trying, right? And a lot of them were not aware that, especially the big brother, was just playing games on them. Because as soon as they said, you know what, this relationship is a waste of time, and as soon as they left, not even 2-3 days good After, you see another girl come and push the key to his door, and that's it again. He was a man whore, right? Straight up until I heard that he was getting married. Both of them were man whores, right? Especially after the mother of their children left, right? And they were cheaters, right? But they always try to act like they weren't man whores and they weren't serial cheaters, right? And they wanted to accuse those who in their life that they were cheaters when they in fact were the cheaters. So I told this lady, I said, I agree with you, ma'am. There's something wrong with those two grown boys over there, because all these girls could not be the problem. And it's a good thing that she was the one who saw this and brought it up, because maybe if I had told people, they would have said, no, 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 those two guys, they grew up in the community for so long. We all know them. They couldn't be like that. It obviously is the girls. But this big woman was like, she had been observing them, and she came to me and she's like, something is not right. It don't look right. Something is not right. Right? So that's why I say, if you really take the time to get to know them, ask any big woman or big man from the community where they come from about them. You will really hear some shocking background stories into who they truly are, because even though some people don't live with them, they have a taste of what skeletons they have hiding in their closet, and then they go around and trying to destroy my life as if I am the problem and they have skeletons in their closet. So before I forget, I remember one day, me and the narcissistic ex of mine, I laid down and he said he wanted to have a conversation with me, right? He was complaining about how he basically he find everything to complain about, right? Even when things is not there to complain, even when things were getting better, he still finds something to complain about, because he just wants people to walk on eggshell and feel uncomfortable. He just always wanted to invite chaos into the relationship. So he was saying that, oh, it's a fantasy life you're looking, and him can't endorse this fantasy life. Basically, trying to turn me into the girl he never met me as, trying to turn me into the girl that I never told him that I ever was, right? And because he couldn't get that, then he wanted to say that it's a fantasy life I was looking. So when he was done speaking, I said, oh, I see. So for some reason, he didn't like my response, right? And the expression in his face changed. And this buffoon said out of his mouth, a true man na beat to no, and must it true kuno and box no me kuno go on so. A true man na beat to no me kuno get what with certain things. Re. So I just scooched over far from with him, where beside him, and I just shut my mouth and go back into what I was doing, while I was still looking at him to the corner of my eyes, because I was like, if if a hand ever raise or a foot ever raise, he wouldn't like it, because I was always the type to tell myself that if a man ever raise them and I lick me I lick them back. Anyways, that was an incident that happened like couple weeks before I even packed my things and left his ass while he was at work. So at the end of the day, they all get influence from each other. Their fathers were cheaters, the sons grew into cheaters, and one was a physical abuser, right? I don't remember if the mother of his child ever carried him to court or ever called police on him, make him get locked up. I don't remember. but there is always some record against them for some abuse, right? And especially all of those young girls that he had come into the house where he was fooling up their head, messing with them, telling them that he wants a serious relationship. And the girls just wasted their time. They all wasted their time. And it's basically the same thing that the other young one basically did, right? And then come talk 2 months after me have a child, basically feel like, oh, me can trap her now because she don't know where to go. She have a child now. Oh, so me not feel like me want married again. And you did know say you never want married all this time. You feel me? So that's just how they are, a big dysfunctional set of lying, conniving, women using family, and they all back each other because every time the mother of these narcissistic boys, she hear that her sons are doing certain things, she always backs them up. She asks them, so what you are gonna do about it? If it was me would I did do this and da 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 da. She never holds her sons at accountability. She always backs them.